social media, that type of thing. Speaking of bigotry and racism, I have been reading and noticing, people commenting on the Confederate battle flag issue, and this kid killing 9 churchgoers, including a pastor, at a black church in South Carolina. Now, I've been listening to this stuff. I've been watching this. I've been reading, following this quite closely, actually. Just the reaction of people. And I find it amazing that once again, there are a bunch of white people out there trying to determine and tell black people what racism is all about. Blacks are like, hey, this is what Christianity is all about. We're supposed to, forgive those who trespass against us. Christ told us that. And you have white people out there telling black people who believe this that they're stupid. And that they don't understand racism then. And that this kid was a total, forget the fact that the kid had, was surrounded by other ethnic backgrounds his whole life. Some of them were included in his circle of friends. No, he was still, simply because evidently he walked in there and he told the black people to leave. Well, okay, what if they left? There was nobody else in there. What was he going to do? Was he going to, stand there and just shoot up the place? But we're told, well, yeah, he just wanted to start a race war. That's what he was all about. Well, I don't know how you start a race war by shooting, 9 people. When there have been, bigger massacres than that, no race wars have started. But again, when you point this stuff out and these liberals are telling you, well, evidently, Rod, you just don't understand racism and how institutionalized it is. I mean, excuse me? See, here's the problem. You liberals are so racist and so bigoted that you don't even realize that you're the racist ones, because you're out there telling us that hey, nothing has changed since Selma. Like, are you kidding me? We have more interracial couples today than ever before. The Census Bureau tells us about all the interracial, multiracial children that have been born, that it is now a significant portion of our population that can no longer be, they're defined as other, I guess, multiracial. So, and we've elected non-white people, officials, to various levels of governmental office freely. Over the past 20 years, and a number of them, including to be president of the United States, we have elected these people. But yet, we still have some white people out there telling us that, well, yeah, we're still a racist nation. We're still divided along racial lines. How is that? Are you the one who's doing that? Are you the one who's perpetuating this false narrative on race issues? Yes, you are. But yet, when I point this out, you want to tell me I don't understand racism. And I find it very interesting that you have white people out there telling black people and other brown people that they don't understand racism. Now, if they were to say, well, we don't understand racism against white people, okay, I might buy that argument, but that's not what they're saying. What they're saying is that me being a black and being part Cherokee, I don't have a clue what I'm talking about when it comes to racism and bigotry. I've been told this, folks. It's you can't help but wonder where their minds are at when they utter such total and complete nonsense. Well, Rod, if you just don't see the racism that's still there, man, we're still a racist nation, then you just don't understand racism. You do know that I'm black, right? Well, that's irrelevant. You should know then. Well, no, it's not irrelevant because you're talking about racism towards black people. And that would mean I would be on the receiving end of such racism. So I think I would fully understand it because I would and have experienced it, correct? Well, yeah, but you've probably never experienced, and I love that. You've probably never experienced it. That's why you don't understand. How would they know? Yeah, of course I've experienced it. I'm just I'm flabbergasted as to wonder how they could possibly know that I would not have experienced it. That I lived such a sheltered life. Yeah, that I would never ever encounter, that I have never ever encountered race. I've never been stopped by a cop, according to some people. Oh, you don't know what it's like to be pulled over by the police. Really? Oh, okay. As if I've never been pulled over before. You don't know what it's like, to have police question you because they think that you're a criminal. Really? I haven't. Okay. You don't know what it's like to have somebody not like you because of the color of your skin. Look, these are things that white people have told me. White liberals have told me. I wish I could make this stuff up, but I'm not. So this whole notion is that what they're doing is they're trying to redefine our society, the words that define our society. And by redefining the words that define our society, they can redefine our society. Do you understand what I'm telling you? I mean, this goes from the White House on down, folks. I mean, we've changed the definition of recession. Technically, we haven't recovered from a recession. But this is the new normal now. This is what we're supposed to expect. Things have gotten so bad that even the ACLU now is turned on their heels and just decided, well, we're not going to be for the defense of we're not going to be for the Freedom of Religion Act anymore because it's not really, we're not really, what we were doing before wasn't really defending religion because this is what religion is. So they're redefining religion as they have just redefined marriage. So everybody thinks this is all about, well, it's all about getting the benefits in everything that a married couple can have, Rod. No, it's not. Because if that were the case, if it were only about, equal benefit rights, then you wouldn't get what you have now. Because there are many you could just demand that people get the same benefits, but it's not about that. I mean, now you have people. Look, you have people that walk into a bakery, a Christian bakery, and say, "We want you to bake us a gay marriage wedding cake." The Christian baker says no. Well, now all of a sudden, the baker is, infringing on this gay couple's rights. But you don't hear a complaint about an Islamist walking into a Christian bakery and said, "Bake me a cake for Islam." Why? Because they know better. Just as a Christian isn't going to walk into an Islamic bakery, Islamic owned and run bakery, and say, we're going to have a Christian wedding. Bake me a cake. It doesn't have. So if nobody else is going to do that, why is it that gays are doing it? Because it isn't about marriage, folks. It's not about marriage at all. It never has been. Because there are so many ways and so many things that we could have done. Civil unions would have been just as equal. if we had decided to go that route. But no, they wanted to change the definition of the meaning of the word marriage. And now that they have it is a huge win to be able to successfully do that, because now all other major words that define our society can now be redefined as whomever sees fit. I know some people are thinking, well, Rod, this is you got to be out of your mind if you're thinking that's the way it works. That is the way it works now. Look around. I mean, people are using the N-word. It is to the point where now I have heard white people tell black people they can use the N-word in a loving tone. I mean, are you kidding me? You have white people telling black people that the N-word no longer means what they say it means, and that it's now a term of endearment, and they can use it anytime, anywhere, on whoever they want. And if black people say, well, no, you can't use that word and call me that, they're like, yes, we can. So now they're telling us, but we're the ones with the problem. I guess we don't know what the N-word means anymore. So we're being told because they've decided that they're redefining the meaning of it. Well, if that's the case, why don't they just redefine the meaning of the Confederate battle flag? Why don't they redefine that? They have, because now it just means nothing but racism. It's the battle flag for racist. And every racist wraps themselves in the Confederate battle flag and walks into a church and shoots people. So we have to get rid of that symbol. I mean, you can't even... I was reading today that there's even some Confederate museums that want to get rid of that symbol. You're a museum. You're a Confederate museum. How do you get rid of the symbol of what you're the museum for? Well, maybe they want to shut down the museum totally, I guess. I don't know. But I don't, if the Confederate battle flag is going to be offensive to me, if that's offensive to me, I'm not going to go to a Confederate historical museum then, because I'm going to be offended everywhere I look. None of this has any basis in logic whatsoever. And yet we don't have a bunch of Republicans or conservatives, we don't have enough of them with a battle plan to fight this kind of nonsense. We don't have many people standing up and saying, hold it, stop it. You're gone too far. This is crazy. This is ludicrous. And I'm not talking rapper. This is ludicrous. Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe the word ludicrous no longer means, stupid and ain't and crazy, but it only means rapper. And, rapper doesn't mean the rapper around a candy bar, but, the person who speaks their lyrics in hip-hop music. So we have all of these, you can't have a stable society that is going to that is able to redefine the meaning of major words that the society is based on. You cannot have a stable society if you're capable of doing that, changing those meanings of those words on a whim. Your society will fall and crumble. You will be subjected to anything. And if you think I'm crazy, I'm telling you right now that the gays have their marriage, and don't get me wrong, I have no, I have no problem with who people want to love. And frankly, neither does the Bible. Doesn't talk about it at all. It just talks about the sexual act, actually. But you can't have You know, I'll have to finish this on the other side. We'll be right back, folks.